a microphone that's weighs a pound and a half.
My cloud lifter went out, so I took it out. So it's weird once I use this mic. Yeah, I'm sounding soft. Do I sound soft?
No.
A little bit
How about now?
better.
Check 1 2. Check 1 2.
That's good.
I might have to get another cloud lifter. I just have to talk into it close like this. If I'm right on the mic, I'm sure I'm going to sound loud. I'm going to sound good, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Oh yeah. You're great.
Yep. Just pretend this is Waddle and Sylvie on the core the core. This core.
We're streaming. Jeff's going to be a little late. You got a flat tire.
Ooh.
He's supposed to be here, but he might not
Who got a flat tire?
be.
Jeff.
Oh.
Maybe I need to talk a little louder. That's my problem.
Oh, I could just talk like this all show.
Yeah, you're good the whole time.
My wife would appreciate it if I spoke like that when I'm on podcasts. She's trying to sleep in the next room.
I thought for a second she wanted you to do AMSR or ASMR.
No,
It's called.
she has been investigating how to soundproof this room. And I'm like, you're not going to mess with my back wall. You're not going to mess with that. I'm not going to put foam, studio foam on my back wall. We have these paper thin doors, and so that's part of the problem. So we have to buy a good heavy door.
What's this hair growth treatment you keep posting on Facebook, Ben?
Huh?
What's this hair growth treatment you keep posting on Facebook?
Well, part of it's color, but
I've given up. You see where I'm at
here. Yeah. Well, you're married.
I spent the last 2 hours at a graduate fair rather, not a fair.
Fair.
Whoa.
Where
Yeah.
I had a booth for the program that I am in, and I thought no one's going to show up. And I was the belle of the ball. I just nonstop talking for 2 hours with people coming up in groups wanting to find out about our program. So I'm kind of conversed out.
Hey, Brian.
And now you have to talk for another hour.
Yeah.
Bummer. Brian just stopped in to say hi. You have to go to another meeting.
I got my got to try 16 this week.
What'd you get?
I said I got to try a 16 this week.
Oh, iPhone 16.
Yep. My sister's phone got smashed, which means guess who had to set up getting a brand new one from the Apple Store for her.
Jeff will be just joining us a little bit later than we thought.
Mhm.
Yeah, my wife had hers delivered yesterday because she woke up and decided she wanted a new iPhone, and I didn't argue the point. She had a 12,
Yes.
and
Plus, a happy wife is a happy life.
well, she's happy with the new one. I had trouble getting the thing to do the transfer stuff this afternoon. I had to start it and stop it multiple times, but I guess it eventually took. Kept asking me for an Apple ID name that I use that name at some point, but I don't use it anymore, and it's certainly not linked
Mhm.
into my Apple ID. So
Yeah.
finally, I
Yeah.
got the thing rolling, but
Yeah. This getting everything transferred from this to her new phone was quite the adventure because, well, this is completely smashed.
yeah.
Dropped it. She dropped it.
Yep. Right on the rock.
Ouch.
Ooh,
So
Oh,
yeah,
there's Guy.
front glass is completely
Yay.
shattered. Back glass is completely shattered. Guy, there's a new mic to talk about.
Well, he hasn't
Usual.
seen my new mic yet. I told him about it.
Well, I mean, he's here, so he can see it now,
Yes.
presumably. Leo, do you want to join the show, Cat?
Mhm. Guy.
I should put these on for the whole show.
Yeah. Yeah. The guy's just is making his last cockeyed.
These are Alexa glasses, by the way.
Oh, yeah. Oh, you got him.
I got
Can't
them.
hear. We can't hear you, Mike. Guy.
Yes, use one of your other 47 mics.
I still have the pod mic here just in case. There you go.
Gotta ask you guys about, particularly Guy, if he's had any experience with a microphone that one of my friends loves.
Check 1 2.
There we go.
Okay.
I was going to say, if anybody's asking if you guys had experience with a microphone,
I know.
Maybe. See, Guy? Oh, look what I got. Ooh, I actually bought a mic. Ooh.
I know.
are you sure, Dave?
I am
Are you
sure.
sure? Whoops.
And actually sounds pretty good too.
It
Ozzy,
does.
this is not In Touch with Kitties.
That's why I have my door closed, or they would be in here.
Until you hear the scratching.
Well, yeah,
Yeah.
but I always save that. Well, usually
Oh,
I
no,
save
no, no,
that
no, boy.
until
No,
after.
little boy.
All right. Jeff is going to be late. He'll join us when he can.
Who's still coming?
Just Jeff.
Mhm.
So, Guy, have you ever heard of a Electro Voice RE20?
Yes, I have.
I was going to say, there's no question in my mind.
That is
Any
an
good?
awesome. Yes, that is a fantastic microphone.
Yeah.
But it's like it's
Okay.
not dissimilar to the SM7B where it needs a lot of gain. It's a dynamic microphone.
Hmm.
But that's like one of my dream mics that I don't have yet.
I think I remember you talking about that. And it's like, oh God,
Yeah.
it's too expensive.
Yeah, it's like $450.
450. Yeah, I'm looking at it.
No.
Yeah, it's you need an audio interface that's like capable of really pushing it. So with something like that, you want to look at a Motu M2, or even a if you can swing it, a Rodecaster Duo.
Hmm.
Just you need an interface that has a lot of gain, that will pump a lot of gain into it. You don't want to use like a cloud lifter or something like that, which is basically a little device that goes in line with the microphone you turn on, because dynamic microphones don't require phantom power, whereas condenser microphones do. So, but with something like a cloud lifter, and I mean, there's a 10 or more devices that do this. What it basically does is you supply phantom power to the little inline amplifier, and it gives you about 26 dB of gain. So
Oh, that's a lot of gain.
yeah.
So something like an Elgato Wave XLR, not enough going there for it?
I don't understand the question. Is that an interface?
Oh, yeah, it's a XLR interface from microphone to USB.
I don't have any experience with that,
Okay.
but I have
thought-
used a SM7B with a Motu M2. Another decent interface that I just happen to have right here
Oh my God.
is the Arturia. It's got a cable wrapped around it. Mini Fuse or Mini Fuse 2. There's also a Mini Fuse 4, but you've only got one mic.
Yep.
Yeah.
This is a pretty good interface also.
When Guy's here, we should have an In Touch with Mike segment.
Yes. Except it would never end.
It would go the whole hour.
It would be marathon.
All
How
right,
many
let's get-
microphones did I bring over to your house, Dave? That
It was
one.
at least 13
Yeah.
at
Yeah.
once.
And I was halfway through before I realized how stupid I was for that many microphones for absolutely no reason other than to say, look at all these microphones.
All right.
But I do have a new boom arm
Nice.
that I'm
I
using.
got one. I kept my Rode because this has been my trusty arm for a while. It does seem it doesn't weight it as much because the pod mic,
Excuse
that
me.
pod mic is heavier than this.
Oh yeah, a pod mic is a
37 plus.
beast.
Would a Behringer Euphoria work with the?
Yeah, you're talking like the
Okay.
UMC 202, 204, or 404.
I'm looking at the UMC 404 HD.
Okay, 404 has four. God, how do I know this shit by heart? 404 has
I wonder why.
4 XLR inputs.
Right.
You can do, because there's also there's the 202 and there's the 204. The 204 has a couple of features better than the 202. I would recommend the 204. It'll save
Yeah,
you-
well, I mean, I already own the 404. Actually, I
Oh,
own
okay.
two of
Well,
them.
you own two.
Um,
How did you end up? I have
He's just
one.
as bad. You have to understand this because
'Cause-
he's just as bad as you. He buys everything.
you convinced me to get it at a Mac stock back in 2018,
Oh, okay.
and
Okay. Well, it's a
and
good-
I
I probably had it there on the table.
yeah, and I packed it away, and then we were going to be doing maybe some live stuff at Mac stock this year, so I couldn't find it, so I pulled the trigger and bought another one.
God, Marty. Oh.
For the money, they are great interfaces.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The gain is relatively clean, and you can really crank those pretty high before they distort. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
Behringer makes a lot of copycat products.
And they're usually pretty good copies.
Some of them are really, really good. They make the best cheap SM58 clone microphone.
Yeah.
Oh, Oh yeah, I
bought
have
that
one.
I bought that one.
What is that called? That is the
Yeah. Let me go find my Sweetwater page. I can tell you exactly what it's called.
okay. Okay. Well, there's a couple of them because they also make a handheld condenser microphone that is also very, very good for about $45. I mean, Behringer is the Fifine of the 2000s. Fifine is
Yeah.
now taking over that spot where they have lots of pretty good, decent, inexpensive microphones.
Yeah.
The
I
Fifine
purchased
68D, which is a small dynamic microphone. I mean, for a while there, it was like microphone of the week. I was just buying a ton of microphones. And when that one showed up, I pulled it out of the box. It was like, God damn, this fucking thing is heavy. I couldn't believe it.
Okay. The one I own is the XM8500.
XM8500 is a very, very good, and they're like about $20 now, I think. Maybe.
I
Yeah,
paid
I have-
I paid $17.10 at Sweetwater.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a great mic.
Yeah.
I bought
it's
I bought 3 XM 1800Ss because I bought the mixer to do a panel discussion and record it at a conference that I was at, and then bought the Behringer 1800S so I'd have them on the table for people who are going to be doing the discussion. So
Yeah, it was like either second or third Mac stock. I showed up. I had actually it may have been the one in 2018. I had the Behringer UMC 204. I had a headphone amplifier with 4 headphones connected to it.
Mhm.
I had a Snake with like 4 XLR cables connected to it. I had brought like all of this gear thinking, oh, I'm going to have all these round table discussions. And it was like one time with Dave Hamilton and John F.
Mhm.
Brown. And that was it for the entire time. Oh, excuse me.
Speaking of roundtable, let's go. Let's get going here.
Yep.
okay.
Let me start audio hijack here. Check. Looks good.
Well, you're on the Duo, aren't you? What are you recording to?
I record to. Why is it going through the speakers? That's weird. Oh, that's why.
Oh my God. Guy,
Yeah.
the XM8500 is currently on sale for $14.
Yeah. There's actually one better than that. That's
Yeah.
also like an SM50 clone that Behringer makes, and I can't remember the name of it.
SL85S.
No, that's not it. Though I have one of those too. Of course I do.
What a surprise! All right, let's get going.
Yep. Let's go
Oh,
back.
let's talk
Get
about
back to in touch with iOS instead of in touch with mics.
Yeah, gonna have to have a sidebar in touch with mics.
I'll find it.
All right,
Find that.
here we go.
download.
In 5, 4, 3, 2. Welcome to episode 327 of In Touch with iOS, the show that talks about iPhone, iPad, Apple Watch, Apple TV, and related technologies. I'm your host, Dave Ginsburg, and my guest this week is Guy Searle. How you doing, Guy?
Hey, it's good to be here. And we were having just a lively discussion before you decided to do a podcast or something.
Yeah, you know, this isn't In Touch with microphones, but I know you'd like it to be, but I'm really glad you're here. And
Thank you.
Ben
Thank
Rathick,
you.
you are here as well. How you doing, Ben?
I am fantastic. It's great to not be working tonight and
Yeah,
doing something constructive.
nice. Yes, I'm so happy you're here. Marty, I'm also happy that Marty Jensius is here. How you doing, Marty?
I'm doing good. Thursday nights are the end of my week, and so it's always great to be able to do this and dive into the tech all day long, knowing that we're going to be talking about it tonight. So I
Yeah,
appreciate
absolutely.
being here.
I appreciate you being here. So let's dive in here. We got lots to talk about. We're going to continue on with our In Touch with Vision Pro. Marty's back. We could talk some stuff here and some updates, some beta, all kinds of stuff to talk about this week. But let's just get started right away with In Touch with Vision Pro. Vision Pro, they just released Vision Pro 2.1, the 4th beta to the developers. It was like not even a week after they seeded the 3rd beta.
Yeah.
And we just installed it. There really isn't anything different that I noticed. And other than we're still waiting on the Mac Virtual Display support for multi-view and multi-view for MLS and MLB games, and the ultra widescreen, excuse me, for the Mac Virtual Display. But other than that, I didn't see much else. What did you?
Yeah, it was a small update. And the thing that I could find on it, we won't see it generally, is that it indicated that this update was a fix for an issue in StoreKit testing in Xcode. The fix addresses the possibility of an incorrect offer identifier being reported for offer codes and subscription renewal info. So deep we wouldn't necessarily see it. It's not kind of
Yeah.
A visible functional change in it. So yeah,
I didn't notice much on mine, so it
yeah,
was just another update. But hey,
yeah.
Surprisingly, I'm staying on beta all the way because I just did not like 2 and even 1 for that matter. So version 1. Well, we'll see where it goes. Go ahead.
Yeah, Eric has stopped doing developer betas, and he's like, unless something really important comes out, I'm just going to roll back to whatever the public beta is and stay with that. Part of it is because he shares his headset and he doesn't want that to muck up everything else. But it's kind of sensible, if it's going to be things like a fix for an issue in StoreKit testing in Xcode, it's not going to influence Eric's use that much. So he's rolling back. He's waiting for the display, the MacBook display option to happen. And when that is, he might, as soon as I tell him it's on there, he'll switch over to the developer beta. But
I can ask me
not
too.
much for yeah.
I'll stay on beta.
Yeah.
Don't bother me.
Well, I mean, we can tell mostly by how small a lot of these new betas are that we're getting closer and closer to a general release.
Getting there. I don't know about Vision Pro, but
yeah, they talked about maybe a couple of more releases, betas and then going to a 2.2 with Vision Pro.
The other thing that I found this week that Apple did release its first scripted immersive film. It's coming this week as we record, and it's there's a trailer, and it is the Submerged. It's going to be free for all Vision Pro users this Thursday, actually today. I haven't even tried it yet. It is out now. It's a short film that was written and directed by Academy Award-winning filmmaker. That makes it stand out from other immersive videos that Apple has produced to this point. The filmmaker is Edward Berger, and he's best known for films like All Quiet on the Western Front and the upcoming Conclave. So that's a pretty big resume there. So the Submerged invites viewers onto a World War II era submarine and follows its crew as they wrestle to combat an harrowing torpedo attack. And the adrenaline pumping thrill ride showcases the unique storytelling experiences made possible by Apple Immersive Video. So taking advantage of spatial audio as well as video is going to be pretty incredible. I did not get to see it yet because it just got released today. We do this thing called work. So I don't know if you've tried it, Marty.
I was in the same situation. I really wanted to this afternoon. Then I came home and got stuck. I volunteered for the job to upgrade my wife's phone, so I never got around to looking at the trailer. The word of mouth on it is it's really cool, and it demonstrates the real unique use of spatial video that can't be demonstrated just through an iPhone camera, spatial video. That well directed, well put together, exciting. I keep hearing the storyline and I think of Das Boot, the German. Yeah, I mean, I just get like, hey, this sounds like Das Boot, which, is a famous, well-known, well-directed, well-shot movie from years ago. But I want to get to see the trailer. I want to get to see the movie. The problem is we're getting crumbs I mean, that's the complaint from people, that we need more of this on a regular basis. So we'll see.
Yeah, no, I agree with you on that. So go check it out for those of you who have Vision Pro, and we will report back next week to tell you how we liked it, because we didn't get a chance to see it. Let's move on here, go on to more topics. Update now. I'm telling you, iOS 18.0.1 included these bug fixes and security patches, and it's recommended that you do the upgrade soon. Apple already stopped signing 18.0, so you really need to get out there and make sure this is updated. The biggest problem was with 16 and 16 Pro models, and I was noticing it was the touch screen may be temporarily unresponsive in certain circumstances on the 16 and 16 Pro models. I know, Marty, you've been on beta most of the time, so you probably didn't experience it, but I did see that before I decided to go on the beta. I know, can you believe it? I'm on beta on my production iPhone. I did jump the gun here, but I was getting tired of the touchscreen not working. And didn't want to wait. So the camera may freeze when recording macro mode video or ultra wide camera in 4K and with HDR turned off on 16 Pro models. I did notice that too when I was doing some recording. Messages may unexpectedly quit when replying to a message with a shared Apple Watch face, and performance may be impacted due to a memory allocation on some iPhone models. And then you had a lot of security updates with password updates, and I won't go through all that, but all I gotta say is just go and update it. Gotta do it.
Yeah.
Gotta do it.
If you've gone ahead and made the leap to iOS 18, make the further leap to the first little update.
Yeah.
But it's
Or
a
should we say in this one, a hop, skip, and a jump?
Yep.
Yeah, it's like a .01 release. Obviously, Apple released it for a specific reason. It's bug fixes,
Yeah.
and security updates.
Was there a chance that it was a security vulnerability part of that too, or was it just the
There was some
freezing?
patches,
Yeah.
messages in the passwords app.
Yeah.
That were affected. So, and this covers all iPhone models all the way up to starting from the iPhone SE, the second gen or later, all the way up to the 16, of course. So go do it. Don't mess it around. Just do it. Do it.
Do it.
Do it.
Meanwhile, on iOS 18.1, the 6th developer beta has been released this week, and it is with Apple Intelligence. It was 2 weeks after the 5th beta was released here. We're getting pretty close here. And Apple Intelligence, of course, includes writing tools that are available whenever text and can be selected and edited. And it can be used for spell checking, fixing grammar, rewriting with a new one, and summarizing text. Siri, I'm still getting used to this Siri thing since I am on the beta. Of course, I just said it and I saw it. The big frame goes with the color. And instead of seeing the little world dot that we were used to seeing. It is a subtle glow, which I think is kind of cool. But so still working through the bugs here. What have you noticed, Ben, on 18.1?
There's a few more options in Control Center there.
Yeah.
Honestly, it's getting pretty good, pretty far along. Apple Intelligence is more at this point, Apple somewhat more intelligent. Do not expect everything to be from WWDC to be there anytime soon.
Yeah, we'll talk about that.
But it's a nice step forward, and judging by the fact that they just went to an A beta, it should be coming soon.
Yep. What about you, Marty? How's been your experience this week?
It's been surprising because on the developer beta, I got it here. I took it out of I got a bottle of Russian liquor from a student.
Do those
And I brought it up to my
somehow?
office, and
That.
I'm looking at it, and the bag has all sorts of Russian writing on it. So I
I
took
can
my
read that.
phone out. And this is from an international student who's here for 6 weeks and knew that I was Lithuanian, and this is a drink apparently that's popular over there. And so I was sitting in my office and I had my camera and I said, I want to see if this will do translate. And sure enough, I put the camera up, it gave me the window. It asked me if I took a picture of it. It did the translate on it. And it was a pretty sensible translate. And it gave me the opportunity to do writing tools on it. So it was just a very freaky experience. Now, the translation was Putin is good, Putin is good, Putin is good. But, it was a good translation.
Did
I
the
mean, I
translator
know you
also
can get
want
this
some
on
of the vodka?
what did you say?
Did the translator also want some of the vodka?
No, I don't even know what it is. And I'm not a big drinker. Um, but it's a brown liquid.
It's
And
Could be whiskey.
What could possibly go wrong?
absolutely nothing.
What isn't
Yeah.
wrong is Jeff Cammett made it to the show. I'm glad you were to make it there, Jeff. How you doing?
I'm doing great, and I'm sorry I'm late.
That's
But
okay.
sometimes
Glad
the
you're here.
universe conspires against me, and
does.
and so I live by my philosophy, Semper Gumby.
You came in just in time to talk about Russian.
Always
leaders.
Gumby.
Always flexible.
So, and that's it for beta. I don't think there hasn't been any much else that we can really report on at this point. We're going to go through a couple other things here. WatchOS 11.1 is out for developers as well. Not much to report with that. As normally with Apple Watch or WatchOS, I should say. And so I really not much to report there. And then tvOS also had their version out that came out as well. And same thing. There really wasn't much with the updates, as we already know about tvOS. And that said, we've talked about. Then what else have we noticed here in iOS 18.1? We've talked about it. Control Center is probably one of my more favorite things that they've done in iOS 18 in general. I've done a few demos already at our Mac user groups, and been really fun to talk about it and actually use it, because it does give you some flexibility with multiple pages and all that stuff. So we'll keep talking about that. Once it's out, we'll definitely be hitting it a lot harder to talk about this thing here. So they also this latest beta also added the sleep apnea alerts and the breathing disturbance readings because that was being added to the Apple Watch in WatchOS 11 and 11.1. So that's coming, and you definitely see that. I already know I have sleep apnea, so it's not going to be anything affecting me here. So,
But
but
I do too, and I have been wearing my watch, and it's telling me, I need to wear more and more, but it's giving me all clear on sleep apnea, and it might be because I'm using the machine.
you got the sleep apnea.
So at least, you should try it.
Yeah, maybe. Let's also talk about iOS 18 and iPadOS 18 and macOS Tall Trees. I'm going to stay within Jeff's name here. Apple's latest OSs are going to be supporting something for gamers: official support for wired Xbox controllers. Previously, Apple devices supported wireless Xbox and PlayStation controllers via Bluetooth. But when it came to wired connections, only PlayStation controllers were compatible. So this makes a big jump here. You can connect if you're using an iOS device with a Lightning port like an iPad or an iPhone. You will need a USB camera adapter to do it, because it's got to have that. It's got to have that connection. So, but that's kind of cool that they're letting you use those particular adapters. And the article here does show you how to get that set up. So, anything you want to add there on Ben?
Yeah. There are a lot of gamers who do prefer a wired connection due to latency.
Yep.
The fact that Apple is further completing the game controller ecosystem is awesome. There are a lot of really good high-end wired Xbox controllers.
Anyone else have anything to add about that? This? let's go ahead.
Oh, no. I misheard in my Fit Pros.
Okay. So as we talked about iOS 18.1, the plan is for it to be released on October 28th. This was according to Mark Gurman on Bloomberg. He thinks the release date is arriving this month later than initially expected because Apple's reportedly taking extra time to ensure a smooth rollout and prepare its AI cloud servers for the increased traffic. This update will bring the first wave of Apple Intelligence features to the 15 Pro and the 16 owners, as we've talked about here. So it's definitely going to be interesting. And what's kind of bothersome, I'll be honest, that Apple has been advertising it already, saying it's got Apple Intelligence, and then most people can't use it.
That is annoying.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. The marketing has been full speed ahead. Why the development has been very slow and deliberate. So right now they're promising what you can't have.
Right. So it'd be I'll be looking forward to hearing what the real world people who don't do beta to see what they have to say about it, because it's definitely going to be interesting. What's not going to be coming to iOS 18.1 with the Apple Intelligence features is the image playground, the Genmoji, which is allows you to generate any emoji you want. You're limited to the emoji characters, of course, defined in the Unicode consortium, but this is going to change with the Gemmoji. The Image Wand, which was an image playground-based feature coming to the Notes app. Priority notifications. On the Mail app, you won't be able to. They're going to be adding a feature that will allow you to sort your incoming messages into categories automatically for better management, like newsletters and purchase emails. Yes Lady is going to have some initial updates that are already coming in 18.1, such as the new glow encompasses the edge of the display with a lot more of an advanced functionality. Not going to be available till later. So yeah, there's a lot of things that aren't going to be on that. So that could be going to iOS 18.2. So we'll be seeing that
Later.
much later, probably in 2025. I would think. But they said maybe before the end of this year, 2024. So you never know. But they'll probably get to 18.3 and 18.4 by the time March 2025 rolls around here. So so that's what they say the plan is anyway, to where that's going to be. A couple other features we talk about here as far as image tools in iOS 18.2 they say are coming is the it's definitely going to be when Image Playground will come out. The tool for apps, it's going to be a standalone Image Playground app. You can work through Playground tools and existing apps, including third-party ones. So there's a lot more that's going to be available here, and we just talked about a lot of this stuff. So so that's something to look forward to. That's for sure. One thing I wanted to talk about here was iPhone mirroring. iPhone mirroring was just released on the Mac OS tall trees, and it's currently it has a privacy and legal risk on work Macs. So one of the new features on iOS 18 in Sequoia is iPhone mirroring, but this is with a personal iPhone and on a Mac on a work Mac currently creates a privacy risk for employees and a legal risk for businesses. Problem is the cybersecurity company Sevco discovered that the apps on the iPhone get treated as Mac apps, and that means their presence is included in corporate IT audits. There's your problem right there. Corporate has lots of IT audits, and they see that stuff on the network. I was like, you are not following the rules, so it definitely needs to be blocked. But the said Apple is working on a fix, and then wasn't intended behavior, but they don't know what they're going to be when that's going to be ready. So what do you think on this, Jeff? I know we've been using iPhone mirroring quite a bit.
It's so funny that you would ask me first because
Mhm.
I have thoughts on this. Okay,
thought you
thought
would.
number one, Your IT department should be managing your devices so that your personal iPhone cannot connect to corporate devices or networks, period. That solves the problem. And as a user, why in the world would you ever want to connect your personal device to your corporate network or computer? That's just asking for trouble. Don't your company has no business knowing what's on your personal devices or managing any of the content or settings there, and and you have no business connecting your personal phone to your corporate stuff. So stop
Never,
doing
never,
it.
Never,
And
never.
yeah,
Yeah.
so I'm interested to see what Apple does to address this, since apparently they have a fix coming. But the fix is already in place, and the fix is address the security holes in your corporate device management.
What about you,
Yeah.
Ben?
I will say this. In a perfect world, Jeff is absolutely right. Unfortunately, some companies are very cheap.
Mm-hmm.
And
Super
the
stupid.
idea of BYOB saves them money. So a lot of things that shouldn't be allowed on corporate networks are, and I should know because I had to use my own personal device in a corporate setting. That being said, between this and those lovely privacy warnings or whatever they are that come up and will knock servers offline, Apple has had a corporate problem with Sequoia. Yeah.
We're seeing it. I'm seeing it.
Yeah.
It's going to be a challenge to
Yeah,
go to it right now.
Yeah, what they need is a C-level executive for business relations. Someone who will have the authority to interface with Air Force One. And when they're discussing the features, he'll be able to say, yeah, that's a reliability and enterprise deployment. We should probably think of a way to turn that off by default or mitigate it somehow. I mean, Apple is very much a corporate, or not it's a consumer artist focused company. And and that means even though they are trying to get into enterprise, trying to get into some different markets, they do not, despite being a giant company, they do not fully understand those markets and really need another voice who will speak for those enterprise customers while not getting in the way of who Apple is.
Guy, have you tried using the iPhone mirroring yet? Or are you on Sequoia?
I am on Sequoia, and I have tried iPhone mirroring, and it's kind of cool. I haven't really done much with it other than to go, oh, look, that works like that now. So,
yeah,
if as I understand it, you can run apps off of it from your Mac. Is that true? You can't. So it's basically just showing what's on your screen.
No, you can actually control your iPhone from the Mac. You can.
Okay. Okay. All right. Yeah.
It actually shuts off your iPhone. You can't look at your iPhone. You look at it on mirroring, and that's all you see.
Well, we'll see what happens and what Apple or how Apple implements that going into the future. But that could also possibly compromise either your phone or your Mac if it isn't done correctly.
Yeah.
How about you, Marty?
I use the iPhone mirroring primarily because I'd rather use the WhatsApp. I use it as a communicating device for the grants, the teachers that I have on this grant, and that's what we do to communicate back and forth. And I'd rather run it through the mirror on my screen than trying to open up the app in a separate window and things like that. So it's convenient. It lets me see what comes up. At my workspace, universities have done a wonderful job of moving technology down to the lowest possible bar. And so anything that they could supply me to use at work is not going to work for me. So what I do is basically go in and I have set up a M2 Mac Mini. I have displays. I have everything I need. All I use is their Wi-Fi. I don't even hardwire into their Ethernet. I use their Wi-Fi. I don't put my printer in the system. My printer is direct line. And that way I don't have to deal with all the junkware that they put on computers and surveillance stuff that they put on computers. I'm like a student who comes with their laptop and uses the Wi-Fi. Mine just happens to sit in my office all day long. So.
Right. Let's talk about this. iOS 18, they've now added the send messages without the need for a Wi-Fi or cellular connection. This is an enhancement in iOS 18 that Apple added as a further enhancement. It's satellite connectivity features for iPhone users with the introduction of the messages via satellite. And the way it works is right now it's in the US and Canada. Owners of the iPhone 14 models and newer can now send messages via satellite. It enables you to exchange iMessages and SMS texts, including emojis, tapbacks, and through satellite connections when traditional networks are unavailable. Apple is using the infrastructure that is set up for emergency SOS for via satellite for this feature, but you don't have to be in an emergency situation to use it. And the service currently is no additional charge, which is pretty amazing. One of the things is it has to detect that there is no cellular or Wi-Fi in any area. So they're not just going to let you use it. You have to be in an area where there is flat out no coverage, no cellular, no Wi-Fi before it'll allow you to go to SOS and be able to use this. But this is great for like roadside assistance, the Find My, and the messages. All that stuff can go over satellite, which is great. And giving you guidance, and it even has a way for you actually to do the demo too. An article shows how to do that under settings. You go into the apps and then tap messages, and you can scroll down and tap satellite connection demo, and it'll show you how it works, which is kind of cool.
Yep.
What do you think on this, Ben? Go ahead.
Look, I live in a place which has a deep Mississippi River valley with hills lined with lead. In other words, there's going to be spaces where I do not have cellular service. And this is absolutely fantastic. I mean, especially when it comes to a family member's cabin. So traditional service is spotty there at best. So this is really going to help communications in rural and mountainous type areas.
Oh, no question. It might have to be an emergency to do it. What do you think, Guy?
What do I think? Hi, I'm dying. Hashtag come save me. Come on, please. there is you can't find fault in it because it's a great feature. How long they'll be able to do it for free,
right?
Who knows? Satellite time is not cheap. Hopefully, since it's going, it has. Hopefully, since it's going to only work in the absence of any other type of radio signal, it'll have a minimal effect. I have a sister-in-law who does lots of hiking in the Idaho area, and my wife keeps watching and God bless her, she keeps watching all of these shows where it's like, this person went into the woods in Idaho and no one's ever seen them again. And so she's constantly freaking out over her sister will come and say, I'm going on a 3-day hike and you may not hear from me for a while. And all the alarm bells start going off in my wife's head. So
Oh, that happened here last fall.
I know it did. It happens all the time. There was a guy that just fell off the Grand Canyon to his death. But anything that will allow us to communicate with someone in the middle of nowhere when there is no cellular, when there is no Wi-Fi, is a good thing. The trick is don't abuse it, because if you do,
Right.
it could go away.
Yeah.
That's true.
So again, no hashtag, just stay away from that. Don't do that.
Jeff has thoughts.
Of course, I have thoughts. I live in Colorado, where cell signals for a lot of the state are a surprise luxury as opposed to just something that's ubiquitous. And we have reports, it feels like weekly, of people getting injured or killed or lost up in the mountains, and yeah, maybe some of those people could have been saved if they had the ability to send out a message over satellite. So yes, like Guy said, you can't fault the feature. This is great, and there you go.
Yeah.
I hope I never need to use it.
What I'm afraid of is that people will, oh, look at I got this great picture of a rock. Let me send it to you right now over satellite. Don't do that.
Don't do that.
Only use it, now in a case where you've finished your hike for the day and you want to let the family know that you've reached your campground or wherever the heck it is that you are, terrific. They don't need to see the 14 pictures at different angles with, all of the different features of the iPhone that you can throw at your camera of a waterfall that you just happen to run into. Just
Does satellite messaging even support images?
Does it? I thought it did.
I don't know.
I thought it did. In the big amazing thing was, well, then I can take a picture of my sprained ankle and send it, and someone can do a remote evaluation of my injury.
Sure.
Okay, Guy's not going to like this because he just preached against doing it for kicks. I was flying into Cleveland and looking out the window, and there was amazing cloud formations I had never seen. So I'm like, I'm going to take a picture of it. And then I thought, I wonder if I can get cell signal here because I'm kind of high up, but not kind of high up. So at risk of putting the plane into a death spin, I turned on the cellular and it wouldn't go on, but I did get the satellite option. And it was, you got to line up, you got to point it to where the satellite is. Couldn't do it in the plane. So I never was able to connect with it, but I was tempted.
You're going to scare the hell out of everybody on that plane too, as you're like, all these positions.
You're going like this. Yeah, you're moving into position here.
I paid for a first class seat. I can do that kind of crap.
Yeah, that's right.
This logic checks out.
Yeah,
It does.
yeah. Sir, please sit down. Please fasten your seatbelt. Don't get up
Yes.
on the seat again.
I'm now picturing the air marshal tackling Marty.
Yeah. Yeah.
And the whole time Marty is going, stop, I got to hit the satellite. And it's not
First class
helping.
seat.
But they were clouds. They were pretty fluffy clouds.
I think I got a show title. And in the chat at youtube.com/intouchwithios, we had Brian, and Cletus is there, and he has absolutely good example of where SOS comes in handy with the advent of Hurricane Milton that just escaped Florida. You got to know that a lot of cell towers are probably out of service, or not working, or down, or got hit. That SOS would probably be the most amazing thing to be using right now. Same thing in Tennessee and North Carolina when Helene hit the hurricane as well.
Which is also why T-Mobile and SpaceX were able to activate
Right.
cellular communication via satellite on a emergency basis.
Yeah, I remember that. I didn't catch that article. I should put that in our show. Yes, thanks for bringing that up. Yeah, that is true. T-Mobile, again, another reason to be a T-Mobile customer right there. It's good to see that stuff. So anyway, let's go ahead and move on. And one thing I noticed here is Apple did add 9 new features to the iCloud website. This was reported earlier this week that you can now access iCloud apps and settings from any web browser with today's refresh at iCloud.com supports some of the features that you had previously been introduced in iOS. And that's dark mode, customizing your background, and some new features across apps, including pin notes and faster navigation to photos and more. A whole long list of stuff here that is in here, and there's so much more that you can use. I don't use iCloud.com very often. I don't know if a lot of people do. Maybe this is a better reason to get on here, especially when you can't access it your phone
Any
at the
other
moment.
way,
You want to
yeah.
go on a browser. What do you think, Kai?
Yeah, I've used it quite often. If I'm at a if I'm in an area that I cannot use my phone or I cannot use my iPad, I can always, as long as I'm on Chrome, I can go into and get to iCloud.com and get my stuff that I need to do and then move on. And I mean, there are so many great uses for iCloud. The fact that you can start a document on one device and then finish it on another. You know, I mean, it's a relatively great service.
Sure. How about you, Marty?
I mean, plus this also brings it to basically feature parity with similar services from Google and Microsoft.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Marty.
As you're talking about it, Guy, I'm thinking back to the old Mobile Me days.
Another-
And it just kind
I
of
think-
generates groans when you think how good it is now compared to back then.
Well,
I
and
did
you
get
hear
some
so
groans
many
when I
people
mentioned
even
it.
now, and they're like, "Oh, iCloud, you're going to use oh, that's a terrible experience." You have
No idea.
how
Oh,
bad.
child.
When Steve Jobs bashes the service in
Yeah,
a keynote, you know it's bad.
Yeah,
He said it sucks. So, good to see. I'm glad they have these options that you can use on the web.
dark
here, so.
mode is nice too. Finally,
So let's move on and hit some of the news stories for this week. I guess hell froze over because the Home Depot and HEB finally rolling out Apple Pay in stores. The Home Depot has finally caved and started rolling out the ability to pay with Apple Pay and other tap to pay payment methods in some of the U.S. stores. It is the home improvement retailer has not officially announced that it accepts Apple Pay, so it's unclear which stores offer it. But in a social media post earlier this year, the company did said it was evaluating some new payment methods. They had been holdouts since they dropped support in 2015. Geez, going on almost 10 years. And another was a Texas-based grocery store called the chain called HEB, which also is gradually starting to accept it this month. In a press release this week, HEB has said it will begin rolling out the ability to pay with Apple Pay and other tap-to-pay methods throughout October in all their stores. So, what do you think, Ben, on this?
This is great. Hey guys in Bentonville, Arkansas, aka Walmart and Sam's Club, I'm looking at you now.
yeah, I generally don't use stores that don't have tap to pay or let me pay via my iPhone. I'm just too used to it now. You know, it's weird. I went on vacation to New Jersey a couple of weeks ago, and I took out $200 cash before I left because I always like having some cash with me. And it was just yesterday. I was looking in my wallet for something. It was like, oh yeah, I've got $200 there. I still had $200 there because I don't really use cash that much anymore.
How about you, Jeff?
I have absolutely no praise for Home Depot doing this. What the hell? I mean, great. Now we'll be able to use Apple Pay at Home Depot. But the fact that we haven't been able to do this for years and years and years, and their whole computer system for interacting with customers, I'm pretty sure the CEO's nephew was probably brought in, and because he knows computers, and they let him do the whole thing. Anyhow, th- great. Thank you, Home Depot, for doing what you should have done years ago. And
Many.
HEB, okay, does that mean, hey, eat bacon? I'm guessing. I don't know.
I sure hope so.
I hope so.
Yeah.
And
Bacon.
Ben, you and I, we are both looking at Walmart like, hey, where's your Apple Pay support? And we better not hold our breath, because
Oh, God,
they
no.
are not going to cave on this.
That would really, really bother me if I gave a crap about Walmart.
Yeah,
Okay.
no,
Well-
I get what you're saying.
Marty,
Well,
last word on
until
this.
until there's a
Moving
Meyer,
on.
I kind of have to.
Fred Meyers. Ooh.
I finally saw that from the outside for the first time at Macstock. So I haven't been inside, but I'm assuming after I go in for the first time, I will purr just like Guy.
Oh, Fred Meyers is the most amazing store ever. I'm sorry.
There's no Fred Meyers in Illinois, by the way.
It's
John.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah, this is Meijer out of Michigan.
Oh, okay. Okay. Oh, all right. All right. Yeah, they've got
Meyer.
Myers.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
I
I
went
you
to-
said Fred Meyer.
yeah. Well, I said Fred Myers. Fred,
Oh, Meyer.
and the only one of those I've
That's-
been to was in Idaho. And
Yes.
I walked in
Yeah.
and I just kind of walked the whole store, and I was like, I'm home. This place.
Yes,
are
they're
really-
both hypermarkets.
Yeah.
Fred Meyer is owned by either Albertson or Kroger. I forget which.
Well, pretty soon
I
it
know
won't
no
matter
longer
because
matters.
it'll be
Yeah.
the same.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Let's move on.
Fred Kroger's.
Slow Horses. That's what a great show that is. Season 5 trailer is already out and available, so if you know where to look. Apple TV Plus is currently airing some of the best shows on TV, honestly. And Slow Horses is one of them, and they just wrapped up the 4th season, but they already are looking at the season 5 trailer, which is now available. But you got to know where to look here. Basically, what they say is, way before season 4 even started, Apple announced this would be out in the season 5. Now it says it has this season 5 trailer. You won't find it on YouTube, even as a standalone trailer in the Apple TV app. Instead, Apple has attached the season 5 trailer to the end of the season 4 finale, so you won't be able to see it until that comes out. That's pretty amazing.
The finale's already out.
Yeah.
Was it out? Okay.
Yeah.
I'm behind.
This is what Apple's done at the end of each season of Slow Horses. You get to the end of the season finale,
Yeah.
and they show you the teaser trailer for the next season.
That's-
Yep.
So
Only Murders in the Building does something similar.
yeah, there you go. Gives you incentive to stay to the end of the last episode.
Yeah.
Not like you need more incentive with Slow Horses.
Yeah.
You know, with
It's like,
Slow
"Give me
Horses,
more now. I'm addicted."
with
Hot
Slow
meat.
Horses, I got the first
Wow.
episode of the first season done.
Okay.
And then the second episode, I turned on the English translation because I couldn't understand half the dialogue with the thick accents, and so that's helping me in terms of processing. I have just finished, and I know this is Guy's no fan of it, Bad Monkey, but what that means to me is now I can move
I love
on
Bad
to
Monkey.
another serial. And that'll probably be Slow Horses. Sometimes somewhere I'll work in Wolves, but I think that's going to be the
Don't.
next thing I step up to. What?
I started watching Wolves because I was thinking, oh man, this is going to be great. George Clooney and Brad Pitt playing off each other in this movie.
How could it be bad?
How could it be
Why?
bad? Here's how it's bad. The movie, the first part of the movie, you get them playing off each other. And then it turns into this extended chase, which is occasionally broken up with the two of them or one of them. and and I got up to, I think I have half an hour in the movie left, and I turned it off because I was like, this isn't the movie that I signed up for. And yeah, so
Well, the
you may
budget
very
was the
well enjoy
stars.
it, but I was just getting so tired of, and now it's
Whip.
this kind of chase, and now it's this kind of chase, and and we're gonna break it up with
chase.
a couple minutes of banter, and now we're back to this kind of chase.
So you're saying there's a reason they pulled it from theaters?
I'm certain that yes, yes.
All right. Let's go on to more Apple TV Plus discussion here. Apple TV Plus is coming to Amazon Prime Video as an add-on subscription. Amazon has announced that Apple TV Plus will be available as an add-on subscription through its Prime Video in the United States. Prime members will be able to subscribe to Apple TV Plus at the $9.99 per month directly from the Prime Video app. The partnership potentially allows Apple's streaming services to reach a wider audience through Amazon's popular Prime Video platform, therefore avoiding the need to download additional apps or navigate to separate billing systems. And subscribers will have access to Apple TV Plus full catalog of original content, as we all know. This is a great idea, and Apple continues to do this with Apple TV Plus by putting it on smart TVs.
Amazon just gets 30%.
Yeah, there you go.
This is why I love you, Guy.
That was a good one, Guy. Thank you. So, what do you think, Jeff?
Good. Do this. Apple, keep doing this. If you want to be in front of everyone's eyes, you need to use the Netflix strategy, which is make your service available every possible place you can. Buy a toaster, comes with Netflix. Get a 6-pack of tacos at Taco Bell, and you get Netflix. That sort of thing. So yes, partner with everyone you possibly can. Apple, make it as easy as possible for people to get at your service through whatever device they have. That's a very important part of having a successful streaming service. So well done, Apple. And yeah, now I really want to know, what kind of cut does Amazon get?
Yeah, I want to know too. Any more thoughts? Ben,
They give Amazon a break on their back end.
Yep.
Apple
Take
TV.
a very good look at this, is because we're witnessing the future of TV. This is how cable-like bundles are going to be done in the future. Essentially, you're going to be using your streaming platform of choice, and then you're going to be able to subscribe to every other service from that platform. And a lot of those are going to be bundled for a different price, because you get everything together, and basically the whole frenemy situation where everybody wins.
Except Netflix.
And my wallet.
Yeah.
When
you look at the interface for Apple TV, they're already kind of doing this. And your bottom left-hand side, you've got all of these different services. I've got Paramount Plus for Star Trek because reasons, and Hulu and Disney Plus and all these other services are all listed right there. So once you're in Apple TV Plus, you don't even have to go to the main big interface where all of the apps are, because they're all right there.
Yeah.
I think there are a lot of people who have Amazon Prime and don't even think about the Apple ecosystem. So this, I think, is potentially capturing an audience that would not be part of Apple's ecosystem yet. They're not going to maybe buy Apple devices. They're going to buy Android devices. They're going to not engage in all the tech stuff that we do.
Yeah.
And I think this is a way to kind of introduce them to some quality program. And Amazon will get its cut, but Apple will get introduced to a bunch of folks that might start to bleed over to other parts of the Apple ecosystem.
Yeah, just look at all the Fire OS TVs that are sold.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
We'll get
remember,
on there too.
Apple services is like the biggest growing part of the company, even
Sure
bigger
is.
than the phones.
Yep, sure is. Okay, a couple more stories here. Ted Lasso, Bad Monkey. Those are been some very big popular shows. I know what guy doesn't like Bad Monkey. Everybody loves Ted Lasso. But here's why you should be now watching Shrinking on Apple TV Plus. Season 2 is coming out. It's one of the that completes the Bill Lawrence TV Plus trifecta, because Bill Lawrence, the executive producer for all 3 shows, he is that's what makes it instrumental, because he's the mind behind all 3 of these shows. He's the co-creator of all 3 series and has been the showrunner to some degree as well. While the series has each of their own distinct flavor, it all fit into the comedy with emotion undercurrent vibe Lawrence is known for. Chances are, if you enjoyed Lasso and Monkey, Shrinking is going to be your jam too. I really like Shrinking. I think it's a great show. Harrison Ford's in it, so that's in itself.
Oh, they're finally coming out with another season of that?
Yeah,
Or
season
they-
2,
Yeah.
October 16th. So it'll be 6 days from as we're
Oh,
recording this.
fantastic.
Yeah, that'll
Man, that is such a
debut
quick
next Wednesday.
blast.
Yeah.
But it's been like 2 years.
It's been a while. So
That's probably-
yeah, make sure you go check it out. And you get the bonus. You get the bonus part of the show is Roy Kent, because Brett Goldstein is known as Roy Kent, and major creating has been the major creative force behind Shrinking. He's the co-creator along with Lawrence, and a role that blossomed out of the two's work on Ted Lasso. And turns out Goldstein will be guest starring in a new season of Shrinking, in a role that is very different from anything we've seen him do before. I'm looking forward to that. That's going to be pretty
So
awesome.
he's here, he's there, he's everywhere.
Guess
Yep.
I need to start
So-
watching Shrinking.
Are they
Well,
going to do? I heard something. They're going to do another season of Lasso. Is that true?
Yes. We
That's
talked
the-
about
Yeah,
that last
well-
week.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah.
Or should we say, we know that the British actors' contracts have been picked up.
Mhm.
Whether it's Ted Lasso season 4 or Richmond AFC season 1 is
Yeah.
TBD. But it looks like it's very, very prominent. My brain can't talk. Very likely that we will be revisiting that world.
As as much as I loved the character Ted Lasso throughout that entire run, those other people could carry that show without Ted Lasso.
Yeah.
There was
Coach.
so much. There was Beard. Oh yeah,
Yeah,
because Beard
Beard.
is still going to be there. He's still there in the UK, and
Hey, stop. You're about to go into spoiler territory,
oh,
and I have not watched the end of the season.
okay.
No spoilers, please.
No spoilers.
Yes, Ted Lasso takes over the NFL expansion team in Orlando. Oh wait, that was coach.
Guys in the engine room.
No spoiler. All right, let's go ahead and move on. One of the last stories here. Longtime Apple executive Dan Riccio is going to be retiring later this month. He's set to retire from the company after it's been reported by Bloomberg that he's worked for Apple for 26 years, most recently overseeing the Vision Pro development as an engineering vice president, and reported directly to Apple CEO Tim Cook. During his tenure as Apple's senior vice president of hardware engineering, he also, as I said, took over the Apple Vision Pro development and a couple thousand engineers in the Vision Products group. Mike Rockwell, who was working under Riccio, will continue to oversee the day-to-day work on the Vision Pro, and that's good. I was worried that was going to happen here. So another big key player is going to be retiring from Apple. But it's bound to happen. That 26 years is quite a long run.
hmm
Places. Any thoughts?
This is going to be either something that is a complete non-story or one of the biggest stories, depending on context here. We knew he was on his way out of the executive team and kind of going to the same plan that Phil Schiller is on, where he sticks around with a very specific job role, which was developing Vision Pro. Now the big question is, whether he got to a point where he could turn it over to John Turnus and have his leadership directed further, or is this to the point where He just didn't think he could move it any further. I mean, up until we learn something more, and trust me, Gurman will find out more. This is just he's retiring, and we don't know much more from there.
Well, at some
Yes.
point, what else do you need to do? What else, you've got all the money that you will ever need. And you've brought various products to life over the course of your career. At some point, it's just like, I just don't want to do this anymore.
Yeah.
All right.
The comments on this article are basically a lot of people trying to wrap it around.
Yeah.
The guy probably just wants to retire, but it's sort of like, oh, well, they spent $1 billion on the Vision Pro and look what happened and blah, blah, blah. Isn't he going to be, it sounds like he's going to be forced out.
Yeah.
They want to put a bunch of drama behind it. The guy probably just wants to retire.
Yeah, I'm with you.
I'm with you on that.
I want to retire. I want his money and retire.
Yeah.
I'm with you.
I'm with you on that too. With that, that's the show for this week. Thank you, all of you, for having. It was such a great show. A lot of great topics, a lot of great discussion, and let's go ahead and wrap up for this week. That's a wrap for this week. Please send your comments, questions, and suggestions to our email address, which is feedback@intouchwithios.com. You can follow us on Mastodon at intouchwithios, at techhangout.social. Support the show by buying me a coffee at intouchwithios.com/coffee. Would really appreciate it. You can become a patron of the show by going to patreon.com/intouchwithios. We have 2 tiers available to support the show. We would really appreciate it. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe so you're notified when we are live streaming, which is Thursday nights at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, 5 p.m. Pacific on our YouTube channel, which is youtube.com/intouchwithios. Great to see Cletus and Brian and many others in the chat this week. You can watch the live stream as well as watch the previous live streams as well as listen to past shows. Visit In Touch with iOS magazine on Flipboard, where many of the topics we discuss are flipped in that magazine. The link is in our show notes. You can subscribe to the show in your favorite podcatcher, including Pocket Casts, Apple Podcasts, Overcast, and many others. But better yet, just go to intouchwithios.com, where all the links to all the ways to listen to us are on that website. I am Dave Ginsburg. You can find me on Mastodon at DaveG65 and Mastodon.cloud. Guy Searle, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for inviting me. I always have a good time here.
Yes, I do too.
So I stay relatively low key,
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Where can people find you?
You can send me an email, guy@mymac.com. I am either Mac Parrot or Vert Shark pretty much everywhere. I'm Vert Shark over on Twitter, where you can see all of the odds and all of the vids over there that I've done. I'm only about 5 months behind on Guy's Daily Drive doing those videos, so look for those real soon. There's the mymac.com podcast. We are getting so close to our 1000th episode. That's going to be huge. We're going to be bringing on a lot of people that help make the mymac.com podcast what it is. In spite of Gaz and myself, and I hope you all will tune in for that.
That'd be fun. That'll be awesome. Thanks for being here, Guy. Ben Raythick, thank you for being here as well. Where can people find you?
Well, Dave, you can find me at Ben Raythick on your social media of choice, which is made it a little bit easier to post these days because of a little app called Croissant.
Croissant.
Yes.
Croissant.
Which it makes me both wanting to post and hungry at the same time.
Yeah.
Yep. You can find my writings on a little site called raythig.tech. It's currently up at a WordPress site, but I'm currently looking to maybe move to another service because of maybe you've heard of the recent turmoil over that IP.
Oh, we could talk.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep. Depending on my work schedule, you can also find me on such shows as Mac Voices Live with Chuck Joyner, The Big Show, and The Mac Show on the British Tech Network with some dude named Jeff Gamet.
Him.
Oh, that guy.
Thanks, Fred. Marty Gencius, thank you for being here as always. Where can people find you?
Y'all exhaust me. All the stuff that you're on, all the stuff that you're doing, 1,000 shows,
Oh,
y'all
yeah.
exhaust me.
You have like more
yeah,
Yeah,
you
podcasts.
can-
you started at 285, so you know it's been going on for a while even without me. Though I did start the very first time I was on that show was episode 35, so I've been doing it for a while.
Okay, well, you can catch my 25th episode of Vision Profiles this Monday with Eric Bolden, live on youtube.com/@visionprofiles. And I also do Chuck Joyner show on Tuesday night with Mac Voices. Love being here on Thursday night. Different vibe, lots of good stuff to talk about. And I also do Tech Savvy Professor and Circular Firing Squad as podcasts on the outside. You can find me at Gencius, Gencius, at mastodon.social.
Thanks, Marty. Last but certainly not least, Jeff Gamet, thank you for being here. Appreciate it. Where can people find you?
Well, thank you for letting me slip in late. It's because it's
Okay.
always just so much fun to get to hang out with you and everyone else that shows up and participates in the show. All right, so social media, I'm Jay Gamet everywhere, but posting pretty much just on Mastodon and Instagram right now. Then I do spend a lot of time trying to make Marty just completely exhausted by showing up on Tuesdays for Chuck Joyner's Mac Voices Live, joining you here on Thursdays for In Touch with iOS, then hopping over to the British Tech Network for the Big Show on Thursdays and the Mac Show on Fridays, and then getting connected with Brian Chaffin so that we can do the Context Machine, and then wrap it all up with Patrice Brendamore for Retro Rewatch.
Thank you so
You
much.
sleep at some point during all this, right?
I sleep right through the shows. I'm asleep right now,
Especially when he's hosting.
especially when I'm hosting. Yes.
All right. Well, thank you all for being here. Thanks for all of our folks that are here this week. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. We appreciate it. Hope you enjoy the show. We enjoy doing it. And until next time, we will talk again soon. Thank you very much. Very good, guys. Thank you. He's got his
listen, Marty,
sunglasses.
25 shows, you gotta start somewhere.
Oh, to have 25 shows that's Vision
In
Pro.
25 weeks.
Yeah.
That's a lot of work.
It is.
Yeah. And this, I appreciate, it's at a different level for me using YouTube, doing the show prep, which the other shows I don't necessarily do prep for. It's just chat stuff. And so, yeah, I can appreciate the work that y'all do.
Sooner or later, I'm going to get on Ecamm. I get time.
Me
to do
too. That's the next thing.
it. I think we should should just do it and
Yeah, I've
try
been
each other's.
I've been using StreamYard.
Oh, Ecamm
Yep,
is
a
pretty
lot of
easy.
people
You
like
just
Problem
StreamYard.
with Ecamm, the interface is just so.
gotta get used to it.
It's so
It's
Ecamm.
it's like OBS on acid. Not that I
Yeah.
that probably.
I'm gonna say goodbye to the live stream.